Hello, guys. I hope you're all well. Today we are together again for another live Thursday night talk, or so I call it TNT. It's really funny. I find it funny. I don't know if you are too. And today we're going to cover one of the topics that I think many people are struggling with, and that is topic of virtual assistants, whether it's good to have them, whether it's not good to have them, what are the benefits, what are the problems that people are experiencing with having a virtual assistants. Do they really help you grow your business? Is it good to outsource some parts of your business, or is it sort of panic state of mind when you're thinking of giving the control of your business to somebody else? And if you decide to have them, where is it good place to start? When is a good place, a good time to start to look for a VA to outsource these crucial tasks? So we're going to be covering all of these topics, and they all come from my own personal experience of other people that I've been speaking with, my clients, my colleagues. As I do not like to wait, I'm going to start immediately. So the topic is how to find, train, and work with your virtual assistant. I'm going to share my screen here. So when I click this button, I hope this is going to work. If you have any questions or comments, I believe that I will be able to see the chat. Okay, so all right, so does somebody say hello everybody? Hi. I cannot see anybody's names unless they are registered with restream.io. I think yes, it's basically said chat.restream.io/FB. Then you can share your name as well if you wanted to say hello to everybody, and so that I can see who you are. Apart from that, I just can't tell. Anyway, let me start sharing my screen. Hopefully this works. Screen 2, share. So this is just a sort of second time I'm doing this, so I hope this works. Oh, fantastic. I hope you can see this, guys. It's just sort of a document that I created so that I can show you in like easier way. I find it really easy when we can see like a chart or a flow chart of some sort when we're talking about some strategy points. So the first thing that I would like to cover with you today is to explain to you that there are basically, I think, 4 big stages in regards to anything to do with VAs. So the first step is to find a VA once you decide to have one. Where, how, who do you get it from? Second is how do you decide which one or which person you want to hire? There's some really big questions and how to sort them out and how to know that it's a right person, whether or not they're going to leave or stay. The big questions there. 3, how do you actually work with your new member of your team? And how do you grow your business with having an extra team member in your business? So all of these questions of strategy and finance come at this stage. So as you can see that they're just sort of quick notes and short notes around each point here. And I think after you find one teammate, you sort of go from number 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you want another one, you repeat the same cycle, find, hire, work, and grow your business. So you go sort of in a cycle, sort of spiraling circle as you grow your Amazon business. So in short, you find your VA through virtual assistant websites or agencies, recruiting agencies, or anybody who specializes in freelancers. You can then decide to hire VA either for yourself only, just you and your VA, or you can decide to share your VA with another Amazon seller, for instance, or more. Or you can decide to go for VA pooling. So you get your VA and you get together with other Amazon sellers who have a VA themselves. And you just sort of pool all of your results together, and you get, instead of maybe 10 deals per day, you get 20 or 30 or 40 deals per day, which is also really beneficial, especially if you all share in same categories and you are ungated in similar categories and products. So the next step is how to work with your VA. And so you need to be aware of several things. First of all, you need to have a contract in place and NDAs in place. And then you have to think about training, because even if the VA comes to you pre-trained from any kind of sourcing agency, recruitment agency like Sourcing VA, you still need to put time and effort into creating a relationship with them and teaching them how you want your deals to be, what kind of criteria you want your deals to have, your KPIs. You need to know how to pay your VAs because they are usually abroad. And you need to set up all the payment systems and everything else. You need to know how to provide a good feedback for your VA. Not every feedback is a constructive feedback. And some VAs say, yes, thank you very much. And then they do not do anything with it because, frankly, they do not understand you. So you need to know how to provide a good feedback. So that's why, for instance, my agency really pays attention on connecting people properly together so they share similar communication methods and values and approach, so that when you say something, the other person actually understands you correctly and not say yes, and then you see no results. And also another step in working with the VA is technology and IT. This can be a really big obstacle to some Amazon sellers because it can be quite complicated, lots of back and forth with different softwares and organizations. But you need to know that this is also included, and you can spend a lot of time just in setting this basic step up. Some people are fantastic with it, they just fly with it, and some people have problem after problem and takes them weeks to set everything up. So I've had experiences with both in regards to technology and IT. So you need to be aware of that. In regards to the growth of your business, once you hire a VA, before you hire a VA, you need to know if you're in the right place to hire a VA. Often people do not understand when is the good time to hire a VA. So there are several approaches to this problem. One of them is, am I financially ready to actually outsource? Because you need to find a VA, pay their wages. There's going to be a financial hit for your business. So can you take that? Because once you hire a new member of staff, you have to understand that this financial hit, first month is going to be the hit. So you will see the drop of your finances. Second month, if it's a good person on your team, this can sort of equal out. And we're talking about sourcing VAs here. So they're going to start contributing and bringing in more deals. So you will see your finances sort of break even, fingers crossed. And third month, you will see the profits start to rise. So you need to be ready for 2-3 months at least of the financial sort of line going down and then slowly, gradually going up. And then you're going to start growing exponentially. So in regards to the growing, I would definitely recommend, and I have heard people saying that they really benefited from a good paid course, from a good strategy creation with a coach. So I would recommend you think about going down that path because it's much faster. Trust me, I've had few businesses and I've always sped up my growth and profitability once I had somebody who's already done that, and he was a qualified coach, and they simply knew how to take that next step that I could not make my mind up about, because I frankly did not know what's going to happen after I've taken this step. So the coach who has done this already, sort of been there, done that, I know what's going to happen to you, it's really beneficial. Okay, so the next step, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on this. So in regards to finding a virtual assistant, so just remember this is sort of a global description. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I like these talks to be brief and to the point. And if you have any questions, you can ask me either right now, or if you think about something that is unclear to you, you can ask me later. Just contact me on my Facebook group or Facebook page, Sourcing VA, and just ask me a question. I will be happy to help you. So how do you find a virtual assistant? So there are two ways. One is a manual and the other one is automatic. When I say manual, I mean you basically going through these freelancer websites and which are Upwork, Freelancer, Online Jobs, PH, or Fiverr, and doing it yourself. And automatic is finding an agency who does the virtual assistants for Amazon sellers and give them to you. And I do recommend my agency because I tried my own agency, and I think it's getting really, really great results. So I can recommend me. I know there are others out there. I have tried one which was really not good for me. And there's another one which is also good, but I have not tried it myself. I will bring somebody who's an Amazon seller who has had the experience with another agency. They will talk about that more, but I can only recommend right now myself and you to do it yourself. So let's see what is next on the slide. So when we're talking about hiring a virtual assistant, let's go into a little bit more detail here. So as we said, manual is you doing everything yourself. So if you decide to actually spend time and effort and energy in finding a VA yourself, this is how you can do this. So you go to any of these websites that I've just mentioned on the previous slide. And then what you do, you create a job post text. Some people recommend that you do not mention that you're looking for sourcing virtual assistant because they do not want anybody experienced. And that is because lots of people have had bad experiences with experienced VAs because they tend to share the deals. I have certainly had that bad experience myself. And I've experienced many of the deals that they have sourced, sort of plummet, and lots of sellers would come on because they shared the deals. I was not aware of that. So that's why they do not like to mention that this is for sourcing VA. They put online researcher or e-commerce expert or anything like that, or somebody who's interested in internet search, anything that's sort of connected but not really going into specifics. So you create job posts like that. Then you will have a ton of applications because everybody can do that kind of online internet research or e-commerce these days. So you will get about maybe minimum 20 applications from everywhere. You need to decide who do you want to work with. Do you want somebody who has similar hours? So there's somebody who is maybe 1 hour away in Europe. Well, I supply European VAs, for instance, so it's only 1 hour away, so you can contact each other, so you can sort of text them, tell them, they can contact you if they find a really good deal and say, look, this is really good, you have to go on internet, like on a website right now and get it. Or you don't care. You want to wake up in the morning and you find all the deals from, from your VA who's living, I don't know, 6-10 hours behind you, and they have sourced throughout the day, which is your night, and you wake up and you find the deals freshly in the morning. So it's going to be completely up to you. Both ways are fine. It's going to be your personal preference. Then once you decide on the factors of who does look that's going to be a good choice for you, and you can set up a few tests for these people as well. For instance, you can say, answer these 3 questions. Do you speak English, or do you like internet research? Are you good with data? So if they answer this, you can say, okay, that's great, and enclose maybe your CV or why would you be good for this specific job. And if they don't do that, you manually sort of automatically discard it because they're not paying attention. So you just sort of reduce the number of applicants and just sort out your applications to the best people. And then you set up the interviews. So I don't know how much patience you're going to have to go through half an hour to an hour interview with the person, because you're going to be working with them. So you need to know if you actually understand each other. Please avoid people who are constantly saying, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, and you actually get this feeling that they actually do not understand what you mean, because most often than not, your gut feeling is going to be right. I had this so often because I would say something, yes, miss, yes, ma'am, great, and I expected a result. There was no result because they did not understand me. And then obviously think of your interview questions and your criteria. What is important to you? You can ask them, what are your goals? Do you actually have a current work? Do you work right now? What is your ideal job? Do you have family? Do you have children? Do you have your allocated workspace at home? Are you going to be disturbed? How is your internet? Do you have lots of storms around you? So you can ask all sorts of questions. Do you have a new laptop, old laptop? How was your, education? Do you like data? Can you talk to me more about your achievements? Whatever you want to know about your future team member, ask them. Then you choose the candidate, whoever you think is going to be the best, longest lasting, and most reliable person that you understand well and they like working with you. And then you set up all onboarding and you start working with them. So that's basically it. And I find that when I was trying to find my own VAs, it would take probably 2 to 3 weeks of some sort of moderate effort from my side to just find a good VA, because there was lots of applications, a lot of people. And I really needed to know, okay, does this person really understand me? And it was difficult through just typing. And then we had to set up the interviews one after another. And by the time we finished, if I didn't write it down, I would forget all of that. So it was a bit overwhelming, I have to admit. Okay, so and next the method is automatic. And that is if you want this done for you. What that means is that you will talk to a recruiting expert or an agency who are already specializing in finding sourcing VAs. So they talk to you, they get to know you in 1 hour conversation, and they find out who would be the best match for you. So for instance, I really do pay attention to that. So when I speak to a client, I make sure that they would match with a couple of virtual assistants that I've already spoken to myself together with my VAs and my team. And I suggest a couple of them to meet. So it's only 2 to 3 candidates tops who would be most likely match, most probable match. And that's it. Basically, you have a couple of interviews and then you choose one of the candidates provided and you start working. So it's much simpler, faster, smoother operation without all of this hassle. But that will all depend on you, how much time you've got. Do you like doing all of these? And how are you do? Basically, that's it. Time, and do you have the energy to do all of that? And that's about it. Because for me, I don't even mention finances here too much, because time is money. And if you do not have time and still want to do all of this, which will take a few weeks of your focus on Amazon business, then it's going to be your call, really. I know that I tried both ways. So when I have lots of time and I'm really sort of specific and I want to go through all of this hustle, I will do it. Frankly, I definitely will do it. But if I can't, I don't have time, I don't have energy, I want a quick solution, smoother operations, I will go for automatic. So it's up to you which one you're ready for right now. Okay, so in the end, working with your virtual assistant. Now that's always interesting. I think I jumped a little bit here. Okay, go back. All right. Okay, so working with your virtual assistant. So once you have gone through all of these procedures, you have basically 5 levels or 5 steps of working with your VA. And you have to pay attention to all of these to make sure that this is a productive, successful relationship. So let's start from the beginning. In the beginning, you need to have a valid contract in place. So you can have basic contract with your VA and NDA as well. If you are having a really specific business that needs the GDPR and data really thoroughly protected, you should be thinking about getting a global contract for virtual assistants that covers Europe and all the continents, really, and legally. That's going to be also up to you. You know your business the best. In this contract, you need to cover holidays and sick pays. You need to decide whether or not you're going to pay for holidays and sick pays. As far as I'm concerned, none of my clients pay for holidays and sick pays. So if they don't work, if they have to go away, they do not get their wages. Most of the businesses in Amazon space work this way, but it's going to be up to you. You need to decide if this contract is going to be for full-time or part-time job, or you need to also set up invoicing intervals within the contract and specify how much money is going to be paid and what are the obligations, the tasks. All of this goes within the contract. Then is IT setup. you need to decide how you're going to communicate with your VA, how often you're going to be communicating with your VA. Some people like Trello, Slack, emails, Zoom, WhatsApp. In emergencies, like there's some really good products to be bought immediately, that can be done. Then you need to talk about safety. So how you're going to share some software, such as, for instance, Keeper, that does not have add-on of the VAs. So what I like to recommend, if you use a software that protects the passwords, that can and the platform can be shared safely, like LastPass. LastPass has a free version which you can use for your VA, which is really good. But there are other softwares out there that can actually protect your software from being mishandled. Then you have to think about a deal sheet. What kind of deal sheet you're going to be giving to your VA? How you're going to be sharing it? Do you have a deal sheet that is ready? Is it really good one for not just you to use, but also your VA? Then you need to set all of the software settings and permissions, whatever you're using on your Amazon platform, they need to get access to. So you need to set that one up. And you need to also add your VA to Amazon permissions, so they can, when they're analyzing the product, and if you're using a BuyBook Pro, for instance, I know that they need to get Amazon permission, so your VA can see if you're gated from something or not, so they do not supply you products where you are gated all the time. Okay, in regards to training. So now in both cases, whether you are going via manual route of finding a VA or automatic route of finding a VA, you need to be aware that you will still need to train your VA. Obviously, when they are brand new, they don't understand what Amazon is and what sourcing is. You need to train them from the beginning, which is going to take some time. But even if they're coming pre-trained or foundation trained from the agency, you still need to spend some time with them and show them how would you like to source, which websites, what kind of items, what kind of criteria. They need to know your KPIs. And if you have some special secrets and secret way of sourcing, you need to show them. I would recommend you get together with them almost every day in the first week, so they can learn everything that they can from you and get to know you better, understand how you think about Amazon products, so that they can source better. So expect for you to be involved in their training at least half an hour per day in the first week or so. And I would definitely recommend that. So the worst thing you can do is to get a VA and then expect them to be like up and running like a software. But remember, even software has glitches and errors, right? So your VA is a live person and they need attention, and they need to connect with you, get to know you. They need to create a rapport. So you're basically the boss of this relationship being successful. You need to create a rapport, get to know them, show them that they are valued and appreciated member of the team. So that also is going to be included in your first couple of weeks of training, especially accentuated. So you're going to be doing the training and decide how you're going to be doing the training. Whether you're doing training from the beginning, are you going to train your VA every day or weekly? Or you're going to give them some courses to do, or you're going to create your course yourself. You need to decide how you're going to guide your VA through learning process, and be aware that if it's somebody brand new, then you go through all of this training with them. And then because they have never done this before, after weeks and weeks of training, they may say, oh, this is actually not for me, I'm sorry. And they just walk off, and you have to start with the process all over again. Now, obviously, that can happen with VA that's been supplied to you, but it's far less likely because they already know what they're doing and whether or not they like it or not. Then it's good for you to set daily activities calendar for you and your VA, so they have the impression that they have a schedule, they have outline, they have goal, so they know what they're working through every day, which is very, very motivating for people, especially when they're new and they're getting on board of your business, to see this kind of their daily schedule. That's like really great. And then how you're going to be monitoring performance of your VA. Now, and the performance of your deal sheet. So you can have two ways. You can go for instance, I know that BuyBook Pro has a VA monitoring tool, which is really good. So they click on this VA monitoring tool when they start working. The Byboot Pro is sort of taking screenshots of their work and their deals submitted, and it's really, really great tool. And also you have deal sheets that will like monitor performance in a financial way. So for every deal there is a winner, there is a profit displayed, so you know immediately if your VA is making you money. And I do tend to think that if the VA is, especially in the first month, doing the break even, making your money, so you're sort of breaking even with their wages, that's actually a good sign, because the next month, once they know their criteria and your Amazon business better, they will start making progress and more profit and more profit and more profit. So you sort of scale month by month here. So you need to know about all of this training and monitoring and scheduling in advance. You also need to understand how to pay your VA. Just remember that they're often based outside of the European Union, just like the poor UK is right now. But they often have to set up different ways of payment, such as TransferWise, or now it's called Wise. It's pretty good through bank transfers. PayPal is often really, really good as well, one of the fastest methods of paying your VA. And you can use also Pioneer. From my experience with dealing with European VAs who are outside of the EU, the PayPal is the best because they only charge 5%, and all of these are charging double or triple. So I would definitely advise to stick to PayPal. You are most welcome to try all the other ways. There are more ways I did not mention here because I didn't try them, but I know that percentage-wise, PayPal has worked out really well for the European VAs outside of the European Union. Okay. In regards to feedback is just really important to your VA, especially when they start, they do not know if they're going to really perform well, and they sort of live in fear day to day. If you're going to like them or not, and what's going to be happening, and what's going to happen if they don't find any deals, and they panic sometimes. All right, so you just need to tell them it doesn't matter. And I make sure that I reassure them as well. And I tell them, look, in the first month, do not expect to perform like an experienced VA. You would need a couple of months to become more experienced and to deliver more deals. What I can see here from everybody else that I have spoken to, and even professional agencies, I have found that in regards to feedback, a VA can expect to find result by month here, and you can manage their expectations and yours. So in the first month, they will be finding 2 to 5 deals per day that you can actually buy. In the second month, maybe they will jump to 8 to 9 deals per day that you can buy. And in the third month, they will be much more experienced. They will know the stores, they will know your criteria, they will know what's happening in the world in regards to seasonal sales or anything like that. So 10 to 12 deals per day can be expected from your VA. So do not panic, and don't allow them to panic either. Just tell them, take it slow. The first month is really important. 2 to 5 deals per day is completely fine. So manage expectations with the feedback and encouragement. Very, very important. Feedback you can be giving them daily, weekly. I find that with a VA that is already trained, maybe daily feedback is okay, but weekly is much better. So I prefer to get together with my VAs on Mondays for about half an hour and go through their deals from the past week and talk to them about them, brainstorm some products, see why they were rejected, see why they were accepted, and to set a plan for this current week. Which stores would I like them to source from? Because I would know better which stores are really good to source from maybe in this month or season, and some special events maybe are happening. And set the plan for this week, and then review what they have done the following week. If you think, and if your VA wants this, then set the feedback daily and planning daily. That's also fine. 5-10 minutes, set up, check all the softwares are working, everything is clear. Maybe show them 1 or 2 products that you particularly like on a day, and let them get on with their work. So it's really, really beneficial. I've spoken to loads of VAs who have said that personal examples from your existing products are really helpful. So if you go into your deal sheet or your Amazon Seller Central ASIN and item itinerary, find some products that you really like and go through them with your VA and tell them, look, I found this one here in this month. That was this special offer perhaps, and I really like this item. Find me this one and, similar items to this one. And these are the stores. And you go into this, analyze the product with them through whichever software you're using, Keeper, Buybook Pro, any other FBA, multi-tool, whatever it is that you're using. And so that they can actually see how you think. They have found this to be extremely beneficial to VA. And not everybody thinks of that. They think, oh, it's training, they all know everything, but they don't. I have found that Amazon sellers think differently about different products. Some would buy something which is to them great, and the other one would never buy anything for completely different reasons. So you need to teach your VA of your own personal preferences, and personal examples are fantastic. Okay, so we already talked about what to expect. Expectations are important to manage, yours and the VA's. And it's also good to have a financial deal sheet. And you can tell your VA from the beginning, this financial deal sheet will display all the financial data from all the winners that you have bought from your VA's deals. And you can tell them, look, you have made all this money, you have broke even this month, and I'm happy with that. It's your first month that you're breaking even. That's fantastic. And the second month, I do expect you to be better. So I would expect you on the second month to start making me money. If they already made you money in the first month, that's fantastic. You can really say, look, this is how much money you've made. This is amazing. This is great. So you give them some encouragement and made them feel like a valuable member of your team. And I think this is basically all that I wanted to cover for today. I don't think that's much to talk about here, except about growing your business. And what I have found really beneficial in growing my business is talking to people who know what they're talking about, meaning accountants who understand how finances work, and to very successful Amazon sellers who have been there, done that, been there for years. So I can definitely recommend you to not waste your time if you're a new seller or if you're thinking of starting to sell. Don't waste your time going around YouTube. That is the first step. If and when you decide to go on Amazon's platform and become actual professional seller, I do recommend you to take some courses. So what I have taken, and I can recommend, I don't know any other courses. If you do, you're free to recommend them right now. But what I have done the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Online Arbitrage from Secret Wealth Training. It was recorded by Matt Webley, Karen Hudson, Holly Pebbles. As far as that was years and years ago. That was an amazing course. There was one free one, and then after the free one, I bought the paid course, which was full of details. And I can tell you that course propelled me into Amazon space. Without that course, I would not know where to turn on Amazon platform, because anybody knows in the beginning, Amazon platform is like a bunch of hieroglyph written in old Egyptian, / Martian language. Totally, it's so much to learn about setting the account, when Amazon sort of stops your account for document checkups, and when the panic ensues, what to do, and how to set up finances, how to set up products, shipments, everything is in there. You really do need paid course. And I believe that Matt has a new course called Adversity. There's a Facebook group on Facebook somewhere as well. If you want to know where it is, I can post it to you in the comments. Just ask me. And the second really great school is Elite Seller Academy with Natalie Cromie. Now, if you want to be successful in the Amazon business, definitely go to Natalie and join in Elite Sellers Academy, because you'll find tips, strategies, and content there that you cannot find anywhere else, I can guarantee you. So I also have heard from my clients about iGen and Look Filler, and courses there are really good. I have not seen them myself, so I do not know, but some of my clients have said they're really, really helpful. In regards to coaching, I do recommend various Amazon sellers to be the coaches, and I know one really great one, which is Emma Hamilton. And I've heard also that iGen provides coaching, and several other Amazon sellers. I have not spoken to them yet. I know that there's another one which is good, Amanda Hill, but and I know another one as well that I can recommend. If you need a coach, you can speak to me in more detail later. Just contact me, and I will remember more coaches that I can recommend to you, because all of these coaching services depend as well on the level of the maturity that your business is at. So not all coaches are good for all stages of your business. So I know some coaches who are good for the beginners to medium, and some coaches who are good from medium to the advanced, and some coaches who are like dealing only with like 8-figure plus sellers who have completely different set of problems and that need to be solved then, the beginner, medium, and advanced, right? So you really need to know where you belong in that scale. And obviously, strategy creation is really great. So for instance, when I first started, I had sort of a really famous strategy called spaghetti on the wall strategy, where I just sit down and I do things. So I was sitting down, buying products and listing them on Amazon. I did not really have any strategy, but I thought that was okay because it was my first 6 months to a year and I was learning. But then after 1 year, I really need to sit down and say, okay, what is my strategy here? How much money did I make? How much effort did I put into here? How is my team doing? How am I doing? Because often, more often than not, I found myself to be really stressed and overwhelmed, because when you plug into Amazon, you're like zzz, constantly. I don't know if that's the case with you, but it was certainly the case with me. I was constantly buzzing there. Okay, so I do recommend you to find a good accountant, because it's going to be crucial for your business. I have found that without accountant, I just wouldn't know where to start. So my first accountant was Mark Horley, who has gone into my Amazon Seller Central, and he said, okay, let's see why you're not making any profit in the first 6 months. And he has gone in there and said, okay, how many ASINs do we have here? And I thought, I've got, I think, 100. And he says, okay, for this type of business that you're running, you need 600 ASINs a minimum to make profit. So I thought, oh, okay, thank you. So I know what to do. So I went there and I got, 600 ASINs plus. And lo and behold, things have improved there once I've done it. But you really need to know somebody who'll tell you, this is what you need to do, go and do it. So I do recommend courses, coaching, and creation of the strategy. And I'll tell you, none of these things can be done if you do not have time on your hands. And if you are as busy as I was without having any help of your virtual assistants or a team, you will struggle to find any time for coaching. Now, it depends if you have high levels of energy and you can sort of work for 12, 14 hours per day and still be energized, then do that, no problem. But for instance, I wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, so I think that's all for now. And I can stop screen sharing here, and I hope that you have benefited from this. If you have any questions, ask me. And if you are asking any questions, and right now you're on YouTube, you're not in our Facebook group, please join our Facebook group. Ask me to join, and I will post you the link. And if you can't join a Facebook group, you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on the Facebook page. My Facebook page is Sourcing VA page. You can ask me questions there as well if that's easier. But if you want to join our private Facebook group, then just ask me and I will post you the link. And that's all from now. So I hope to see you next week when we're going to talk more about some fantastic ways of thinking to get successful in your Amazon business. So I'm going to have, on the 26th of May, I'm going to have an amazing, very successful Amazon seller who is a total inspiration to me and is going to be a total inspiration to you. So get ready for the 26th of May, 7 p.m. here. And until then, see you. Bye-bye.